What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool-Stuttgart post-match analysis video, and we will talk about who impressed me in this first Liverpool pre-season game. Liverpool's new season is officially on the way and Liverpool smashed Stuttgart 3-0 with some really nice gameplay, really good plays, really good goals, and I was especially impressed with Naby Keita in the first half. I thought that he put in an absolutely magnificent performance. This should be Naby Keita's season. I'm just praying that he stays fit for the whole season, because since the Premier League resumed, Naby Keita has been Liverpool's best player probably, and he scored again a brilliant goal after Mane's flick, but Bobby Firmino opened the scoring and Liverpool looked very comfortable against actually a pretty decent Stuttgart side. This Stuttgart team had some good players, and also probably they will finish in mid-table in the Bundesliga, so they are no mugs, they are no like second division sides. They are really good, and Liverpool made them look ordinary in a very challenging environment. It was raining like crazy, the pitch was very heavy, sometimes the ball stopped in a puddle of water, and Bobby Firmino scored after, I think it was Curtis Jones who actually teed up Bobby Firmino. So Curtis Jones gets the assist, Firmino gets the goal. In the second half, Minamino, Konstantinos Tsimikas, the new signing, very much impressed me. And of course, the biggest prize for me and for many Liverpool fans should be Billy Koumetio, the 17-year-old centre-back. He is like a new signing. He just got his first professional contract, and he looks bigger than Van Dijk, and he looked the most like physical player on the pitch in the second half. He came on for Sepp van den Berg, who was maybe the only Liverpool player who stood out as maybe not being ready for this Liverpool first team level. He got substituted on at halftime and then he got taken off, if I'm not mistaken, in the 70th minute for Koumetio, and Koumetio looked much more impressive than Sepp van den Berg, I have to be honest. In the first half, I think Neco Williams played pretty decent, but sometimes the Stuttgart players got behind him, so maybe he needs to work on his positional awareness. Virgil van Dijk was a colossus, just like as always, and he should have probably scored with a header in the first half from some free kicks. So Van Dijk really should have scored a goal, but Naby Keita scored an absolutely brilliant goal. I mean, that Mane flick before the Naby Keita goal was really a thing of beauty. That just reminded me what creativity Mane has, and also Naby Keita was very cool in his finishing, and he looks like an absolute baller. He looks like finally, after getting a run of games at the end of the season, and now with pre-season, he looks physically in very top shape, and also he looks like he has finally the confidence, the swagger that he used to have when he was voted the best player in the Bundesliga for RB Leipzig just before Liverpool signed Naby Keita permanently. He was an absolute beast in the Bundesliga, one of the best players in the Bundesliga, and finally he looks like the player that Liverpool signed when he was performing in top form. I'm sure that many Liverpool fans were waiting for Naby Keita to finally really kick on and kickstart his Liverpool career, and I fully believe that Naby Keita could be a 10-15 goals a season midfielder in Liverpool's midfield. We already have Oxlade-Chamberlain, who scores around 5 to 10 goals in midfield, but I think we need another midfielder who gets regularly at least 10 goals. And the way that Naby Keita plays, the quality that he has, I'm pretty convinced that if he stays fit and if he will be in Jurgen Klopp's first choice midfield, and that's the big question, will Naby Keita start most of the games for Liverpool, most of the big games in the Premier League, in the Champions League? I think if he can stay fit and if he can maintain this form that he's showing since the lockdown ended in the Premier League, I'm pretty convinced that Naby Keita will be Liverpool's first choice on the midfield alongside Fabinho and maybe Henderson or Wijnaldum, whoever is fit. Wijnaldum also looked pretty good. Adrian was actually pretty impressive. My problem with Adrian is He's like a goalkeeper who has always a mistake in him, and you never know when that mistake comes out. Thankfully in this game he was pretty reliable. Don't get me wrong, as a second choice goalkeeper Adrian is still brilliant, but I just worry a little bit if Alisson gets another long-term injury. I mean, is Adrian good enough to have a run of games? He was good enough in the Premier League at the start, and he was the hero in the European Super Cup final, but then he has a game against Atletico Madrid where basically his mistakes cost Liverpool going through. But you could argue that Liverpool's strikers' mistakes cost them going through, because Liverpool had strikers chances. They had chances that they really, if they bury those chances, and they usually do, but in that game they couldn't, then Liverpool would comfortably have won 2-0, 3-0. But let's not talk about that game, that's a long time ago. Ryan Brewster, I'm so happy for him. He scored 11 goals in like 22 games for Swansea in the Championship and in the playoffs. Swansea missed out on getting to the playoff final, but Ryan Brewster was very impressive, and he again gets on the score sheet a brilliant assist. I think actually Minamino might have flicked on the ball on the way to Ryan Brewster, and he just finds that crucial space and he finds himself in a brilliant goal scoring position, and he rifles the ball home into the empty net. It wasn't a difficult finish, but strikers are always in the right space at the right time and in the right position, and that's what Ryan Brewster did, and I'm really super happy that he scored, because that will do his confidence no harm. And I really hope that Jurgen Klopp gives Ryan Brewster an extended run of games. Also, Konstantinos Tsimikas looked really brilliant. There was an incident where James Milner passed the ball to Tsimikas, and then he makes a darting run behind the back line, and Milner shouts at Tsimikas, "Come on, lad!" And Tsimikas doesn't give the ball to him, he recycles the ball to midfield, and then James Milner just shouts, "Fucking hell, Kostas," or something like that, or Timmy, I'm not sure what he said exactly, but he was basically cursing at Tsimikas. Why did you pass the ball to him? But that's what James Milner does on the pitch. Just he's a leader, and he basically shouted for the majority of the second half at Liverpool teammates, which I absolutely loved. It was just so good watching Liverpool play football again, even though it wasn't in a big stadium and there were no fans really, and it was a very harsh conditions, very harsh, big rain. At one point I thought that the game might be abandoned because of injuries, but thankfully no really serious injury happened. Kiana Höver rolled his ankle a little bit, so Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said that he's a doubt for the next game, and I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is still having a small injury, so he didn't feature today. But other than that, and of course other than Oxlade-Chamberlain's injury, which we already know about, he will miss the Arsenal game and the start of the Premier League season. It's a similar injury to what Jordan Henderson sustained, but hopefully Oxlade-Chamberlain will make a full recovery, and very soon. Apart from these injuries, Liverpool have a fully fit squad to go into the RB Salzburg game. And by the way, Salzburg today lost 4-1 to Ajax, which it was a little bit of a surprise, because I thought Salzburg is almost on the same level as Ajax. But of course it's pre-season, the results are not the most important thing. It's fitness, and also giving game time basically to everyone, building up the fitness, the match sharpness of the players. That's what's most important. And Liverpool, I think, had a brilliant preseason game, the perfect start to preseason, the perfect start to the new season. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said about the game. I'm very happy. It was a super intense session for us today, because the weather, wow, it rained like crazy, the pitch was really difficult, you could see the water was still on the pitch. That makes football games always tricky. Good organized opponent obviously, but we scored nice goals, and for me the most important was that we felt 45 minutes of football is different to a 90-minute session, because in sessions you make breaks, drink breaks. Here is no break, you just have to go through the half, and that was the most important thing to do today. The boys did it, they felt the intensity of the game, very good. Tomorrow we will do a little bit less training, and then on Monday we have 2 sessions, and Tuesday we play Salzburg, which is interesting. So it's all good. I think Kiana Höver rolled the ankle a little bit, but apart from that, all the players should be fine, which is obviously very important. How we made the goals, I would say that was absolutely exceptional. Obviously, Taki is in a pretty good shape. Kostas showed some nice glimpses of his talent. Just my comment, he made some really good dribbles, really good runs, and he just showed what he could do in a Liverpool shirt, which I was very happy about. And also Jurgen Klopp said, we know we have good boys here, and that looked really good. Curtis was first half was obviously around the goals. Harvey Elliott, hard-working until the end. Ryan Brewster could have shot maybe more often, but they look really promising. How I said, they had to work today, and that's what they did, so I'm fine with the performance. Kostas Tsimikas' debut was good. It was good. He's a pretty quick player, pretty confident, how you will hear in his post-match interview, but he's a good player, really good, and he did well. The next challenge for him is now to get used to our defending and things like that. It will take time, no doubt, but when he has the ball, it looks not too bad. Jurgen Klopp also said about the rest of Liverpool's Austrian training camp. Tomorrow a little bit less intensity in training, but more important things. Monday we have 2 sessions, Tuesday we drive to Salzburg, so I'm not sure, we probably cannot train in the morning, so we will only play the game. It will be a tough one. Salzburg, every year they find exciting players from all over the world. I'm excited to see them all because the style they play is very clear. It will be pretty intense. I hope it will not rain that much. I have no problem with rain, but you always have to adjust and judge the situation differently. I think it will be better, and then it is all fine. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp implies that with rain you have more risk of injury, and obviously you don't want any players getting injured in pre-season, and also the players have to adjust their playing style and how they do on the pitch, and they can't really express themselves maybe fully 100%. So without rain it would be ideal, but Liverpool can't really control the weather obviously, so I'm just really happy, as you can see, that Liverpool are finally on the way. The new season kicks off with the first preseason game. I mean, preseason results don't mean much, but I'm just happy that Liverpool are back playing football and we can watch them play again. And after Salzburg, we will play Arsenal on the weekend. So we have 3 games, 3 Liverpool games in the space of 8 days, which is absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I really hope that we win against Salzburg and go into the Arsenal game full of confidence, because that is actually a very important game. I think it would set the tone for the start of the season, to start the season with a Community Shield final win. A trophy win at Wembley is always special, it's always good, and I really hope that Liverpool can do it. And I think Naby Keita, this should be his season. I really hope and pray that Naby Keita will stay fit, because honestly, he could really be one of the players of the season. Really looking forward to the rest of the week now, and tomorrow, of course, Champions League final. I will be covering that as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.